Hello guys, new day of 21 days of the MERN interview preparation, and today I'm the interviewer, and these are three candidates, Amit, Vishal and Santosh. So let's start with the interview questions. So let's start with Vishal. Vishal, how's JavaScript? What is JavaScript?
Sorry, can you repeat the
Your
question again?
question is, yes, your question is what is JavaScript? Tell me.
Okay, so basically Java, basically to put the interactiveness in our web application or make a web application more interactive or dynamic, we use JavaScript with along with HTML and CSS to make it dynamic and interactive website. We have a lo- like we can also we can make our UI with the help of other libraries like React and Angular also, but uh, like previously we don't when we don't have libraries like React or Angular, so we basically use HTML, CSS, and along with them we use JavaScript to make our web pages dynamic.
Yeah, correct. For web pages, making more interactive and dynamic, we use JavaScript, and JavaScript is a scripting language. So let's to the Santosh. Santosh, your question is, tell me about control flow. How we can handle the conditional statement in JavaScript.
Okay, so in conditional statement. Okay, so if you talk about the control flow or if-else statements. Okay,
Uh,
hello.
yes, yes, both are
Yeah,
same. Control flow means if else condition only.
okay. So control flow is a, three type of flow. Basically, the if-else, switch, and the loops. These are the these are the uh, flow. So basically used for the if else statement. If a statement are conditionally executed, like using the uh, use basically using for the checking your conditional statement, and uh, your statement is right or wrong, like true or false. So uh, using the if else statement, and the switch, the second one is the switch cases. So in the switch cases, uh, just a bit, in the switch cases, an alternative the multiple multiple if else statement. So uh, multiple statement, for example, you can you can write it the in a like code, uh, console.log in two times. Okay, so these are the switch cases, and the third one is a loop. Loop is uh, loop is a like a block of code. Yeah, basically used for the block of code. So these are the uh, control flow. So
Okay, so we have a three control flow. We can say in JavaScript if else conditions, then loops and switch case. So you write if else switch condition and then loops for repetitive tasks. We can say, right. So now it's turn of Amit. Amit, your question is, tell me about scopes in JavaScript.
Okay, cool. So scopes are basically there are three kind of scopes in JavaScript. We can say first is global scope. So global scope is a scope which is very global to every like whenever JavaScript runs. So all the variables, all the functions, or all the declarations which are there in the global scope, which is not inside any block or inside any function, all the outside variables, those are we can call that those are in global scope. So everything which is out there is global scope. Second is functional scope. So functional scope is very simple. Whenever we define any function or declare any function, so all the variables, all the other functions which are defined inside that function are only accessible within that function only. So we can say that it is inside a global, function scope. So every function has its own scope. So yeah, this is function scope, and the third is block scope. So block scope is contained within the that curly braces. So that is a code block. So every if we have a if statement or a for loop, so every variable or every function declared inside that block of scope, a block of code is only accessible within that scope only. So that is a block scope. So we can say that we have three kind of scope: functional scope, global scope, and block scope. Each and every variable which is declared in that scope can only be accessible inside that scope. If we try to access it outside of that scope, it will give us error. That's it.
Totally clear answer. So let's move to the second round. So let's start with Vishal. Vishal, your question is tell me about functions in JavaScript and what is different between conditional function and ES6 arrow functions.
Sorry, can you repeat it again?
Yeah. Hello, hello. Am I audible?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
your question is what is JavaScript functions and what is the difference between conditional functions and ES6 arrow functions?
Arrow function and what is other function? Conditional function.
Traditional function. Traditional
Traditional.
function.
Okay. Okay. So basically in JavaScript we have functions. So like function is something like if you want to do something, if you want to execute something or make something again and that is you want to do again and again in your code. So just write a function so that every time whenever you need to execute that, you can execute that and get it done the same task again and again. So in these kinds of situation, we make a function and just like import that function wherever we want to use that function. And the second thing, as you said, what is the basic difference between our arrow function and traditional functions? So traditional functions is nothing but a normal function in JavaScript that we are using since from the beginning of JavaScript. But the arrow functions are the function which is introduced in ES6 modules in 2015. So arrow functions is nothing but a function short from, we can say, it is written in a single line only. So this is the arrow function which is introduced in 2015 ES6 modules.
Okay, correct. So basically, ES6 functions are a condensed way of the traditional function. You're correct. So let's go to the Santosh. Santosh, your question is what is arrays and string and how we use it.
Okay, so arrays and the strings. So arrays are basically the explaining the array, a collection of order of the data, and in an array. So if you are like mm, if you have lots of data, so you can like arranging the in array like for example, I just give an example. So you are uh, in a array format like for example var and the const name, and you can arrange your data in a um, like what I can say in a format. So these are the in array. And the second one is a strings. A string is a sequence of the characters used to the text manipulating. So you can operate the first letter of any words any input or anything. So basically used for the string or sequence of the characters uses. So that's it.
Okay. One follow-up question. Can we store strings in array?
uh, yeah, strings you can also uh, uh, can you repeat again what you
I have one string called as a hello. Like inside string I have hello. So can I store that inside that array? Any array?
uh, yeah, you can also add it if you have string added to the yeah, definitely you can add it to the array.
Okay,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
So array is basically collection of the data we can say,
Yes.
and also in array we can store any kind of data because of JavaScript facility. So let's
Yes.
move
Yes.
to the Amit. Amit, you tell me about DOM. What is DOM?
Okay, DOM. So DOM stands for Document Object Model. It's basically a representation of our whole HTML page. Whenever an HTML page loads, every element is loaded. So the first element is HTML. So from HTML, there we can see that inside HTML we have different multiple elements which root from that HTML tag. So it and those elements further divide into different elements. Let's suppose we have a p tag or div tag inside body tag, and that d tag has its own another d tags or anchor tags, whatever tags those are. So if we see this, we can see a tree-like structure. So DOM is itself is a tree-like representation of our whole HTML file. So yeah, this is a DOM, and DOM is very useful if we want to manipulate the DOM, or we can say the elements of a web page. It's very necessary to understand the structure of DOM and all the methods and properties that comes with it, so that we can access or search or style any kind of element by using those properties and methods.
Yeah, correct, totally. So let's move to our third round. So let's start with Vishal. Vishal, your question is, what are objects in JavaScript?
Okay. So in JavaScript we have objects. So basically objects are the collection of key value pairs only. So we have the key, and every key has there are every key has unique in our object. So if you write a repeated key in your object, so it will automatically uh, update the previous one keys values. So we have unique, we have only unique keys in the object, and every key has its value. So objects are nothing but the collection of key value pairs only.
Okay, one follow-up question. What are object methods?
What are object methods? So function which is written inside the objects are called object methods. These functions are basically written to perform any specific task from that object.
Hmm. Okay, correct. Now let's, Santosh, your turn. You tell me about the asynchronous programming of JavaScript.
Okay, so asynchronous programming in a JavaScript, it basically used to the asynchronous is a um, like for example, like try and catch using the try and catch system, like the asynchronous function, it allows to um, time taken, like operators or API key requests. Uh, there are lots like functions, but I know about the blocking and then like callbacks. Non-blocking is a asynchronous code allowed to the program to continuously running code. Okay, while waiting for the take take to the complete. Okay, so the non-blocking is like your code is continuously running and running. So they didn't stop okay. And then the callback is a function past an argument to be execute after another task. Okay, when the task is finished. So yeah, so these are the like and yeah are one more the promise and the asynchronous, yeah, event loops and event handling. There are also, so shall I extend to the answer?
What is
Yes.
async await?
Okay. So async await is a modern approach to the work with the promise, like making the asynchronous code looks synchronous, synchronous. So these are the using the asynchronous await. Okay. And
Basically, asynchronous programming to like if we have some asynchronous tasks, so by using asynchronous programming, we can perform it using async await promises. That's it. Okay, let's go to Amit. You tell me about event loop. What is event loop?
Okay. Event loop can be understood by a person who can manages all the events happening onto our JavaScript. So event loop is a mechanism we can say by which we can handle or we can maneuver all the tasks which is being managed by the JavaScript. So task queue, second is the callback queue, and third is the macro task queue, or I don't remember the name. So call stack firstly is a stack of functions on which every function comes and executes there itself. Secondly, we have the callback queues or task queue, whatever it is. I don't remember the name. So there we can say that all the callback functions are stored. So call stack has normal functions and callback queues has callback functions, which has come from the web API, like the set timeout or set intervals. So those callback functions are rest inside callback queue. So whenever the time ends, let's suppose we have a timer of XYZ seconds. So that much time it rests onto the callback functions and callback queues, and then it goes to the call stack, and there it executes. And event loop is something which handles all these things. Its duty is to check the call stack for all the functions to execute, and when call stack is empty, it accepts the functions from callback queues and task queues and web APIs and all those functions gets to the call stack, and uh, uh, call event loop makes sure that all the functions are executed by their order. Like that has a mechanism of executing the functions which comes first, and then it executes. So yeah, callback loop or we can say event loop manages all these things like call stack and callback loop.
Okay, correct answer. Let's go to our last round. So let's start. Vishal, your question is, what is HOC?
What is higher order functions? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so higher order functions are nothing but these are the functions which returns functions which take callback functions and return functions. So these functions are called higher order functions, and the examples of higher order functions are map, filter, reduce, for each. These are the examples of them.
Yeah, correct. Higher functional is take a function as an argument and return it. Correct. So, Santosh, you tell me about what is different between let where const.
Okay.
Santosh.
Yeah. So let where and cost. Let is a global, and the let and is a like global, and the sorry, where is a global, and the let and const is a um, non-global. Let you can reassign, but where cannot be reassigned. Okay. And yeah, and the uh, let and war. Okay. And the war is a log is a war is a functional scope. War declare the declare the hosting the loop hosted to the top of their scope, but initialized with the unidentified. But let let is a uh, let is a hosting, but not install as the assigning it before the declarations. in the result of reference error. Okay, and same as it is like is a const. Const is a hosting but not initializing, and var. Okay, so var is a you can var is a redeclare variable within the same scope, but let is a cannot like redeclare within the same scope. And constant it const is the value is assigning the const value cannot be changed for the like primitive value, but the consists of the object a declare with a const. So yeah, these are the like basically difference between the let var and const.
Yeah, but your answer is little unclear. You first say what like we cannot reassign. I think I heard about or like this. Yeah, then you have fixed it, but try to answer in clear way. So let me rephrase your answer. Let where const. Where is we can redeclare reassign. Let we can reassign, but we don't redeclare, and const we can't redeclare reassign. Okay, your concept is good. Just to try to represent it a more clear way. Okay, let's go to the Amit. Amit, your question is tell me about closures.
Closure. Okay, closures in JavaScript is a mechanism, or we can say a bundle of all the of functions and all its lexical scope variables. So whenever a closure is initiated, it basically remembers all the lexical variables. Let's suppose you have a closure and you define it. It is simply a function. So when the child function, which has a closure binding with all its variables, uh, which is inside a parent. So when the parent has executed and returned the our closure bundle, so when and so its work is finished, then actually the parent function gets terminated from the memory. So along with it, all the variables that were initiated with it are also removed from from the memory. But the function which was returned, or which was returned with its closure bundle, has all the variables inside it. Like it just remembers all the variables inside it, all the lexical variables which is inside that closure bundle. So it is a phenomenon, we can say, where a function remembers a function or closure bundle remembers its lexical variables and all the thing inside its lexical scope, basically inside around it. And when the parent function executes and terminates, it makes sure that whatever variables or things which are there inside the parent, it just remembers that, and it can access those variables as well.
Yeah, correct. You present is a very clear way. So that's it for today. So thank you for watching this video. And in description there is a link if you want to join our interview session. So you can join by filling that form. And there's a little assessment you have to fill out and you have to perform that, right? Okay, so that's it for today. And tomorrow we will come with some new interview and new questions. Bye bye.